Hey everybody, it's Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. So here we got a brand new 2021 Piaggio Liberty. It's a wonderful scooter. I've covered how it rides, my thoughts on it. I can tell you one thing, it's a wonderful value, and I congratulate you in getting a new Liberty. Well, oftentimes a very popular option for most scooters is to add more storage. Whether it's the original Piaggio top case that's color matched to the scooter, we do have those available on our ScooterWest.com website. It covers products and accessories for the Vespa and the Piaggio scooter. Or maybe you're looking for a less expensive, easy to install option from Shad. So today I'm going to install this SH29 top case on this Liberty. You can see one slight problem right here. This is a grab handle. It's not much of a rack. You could drill into it. It's not going to be a very stable mount. So you're going to need a mounting kit to install any of the top cases successfully onto your Liberty scooter. So there's pretty much two mounting plate options available for the Piaggio Liberty. You can either get the original factory mount, which is a very nice quality mount. Includes a new plastic cover. It's trimmed out really nice. It's a little more expensive. And the part number on the factory mount on the Scooter West website is LT35-mount. Or maybe you're looking for a less expensive budget-friendly mount for your budget-friendly Shad top case versus the more expensive original painted top case. We have you covered here. Shad makes a custom mount specific for the Liberty 50 and Liberty 150. Part number LT29 3V-SH is the Scooter West part number. So let me show you what's included in this mounting kit right here, and we'll jump right into it. Get this installed here. So first of all, you have a clearly written set of instructions. Pretty much pop this plastic cover out. There's going to be a couple holes you do need to cut in this plastic cover, and you also have a set of hardware and a customized mounting plate that allows a platform that's stable for your top case to mount onto. So let me go over some of the tools you need to successfully install this whole entire setup on your Liberty scooter. First of all, you're going to need a drill. It can be a cordless or a corded solution. You're going to need some type of drill bit that will take you up to about 18 millimeters. The best solution is one of these step drill bits. You can find these at a hardware store. Pretty typical and handy to have. You're going to need a 10 millimeter combination wrench, a 10 millimeter 1/4 inch drive socket with a ratchet. I highly recommend having a set of trim tools available on the Scooter West web store, Tool Trim, a number 3 Phillips screwdriver, and a 4 millimeter Allen key. And it could be just the standard set of L-shaped Allen keys or a T-handle like this. And it's handy to have a center punch or a knife to mark the template that you'll need to use. So the first tool I recommend you have is a set of trim tools. And we have these available on the Scooter West website. Tool Trim, pretty much a bunch of flexible plastic pry tools, essentially, for prying parts of the bodywork off. So you can kind of get it in between the rack. You could snap that cover off. So you don't want to put a screwdriver between here. It is possible to pop this off with other tools, but you could do it safely with a set of trim tools. And as you see right underneath here, there's 3 holes right here for the mounting of your top case here. So first of all, you need to cut out this included template for the 3 holes you need to drill into that original plastic piece. With the factory part from Piaggio, it already includes a cover that has the holes machined into it. So a little easier to install the original factory one. Not much extra work to do the Shad one, especially considering you're saving quite a bit of money over the factory mount. But go ahead and cut this all out, along the dotted lines. And you don't need to be too accurate about it. And next, you either want to have a center punch or Even the tip of a knife would be suitable. So you have this piece right here. You drop that piece of paper right into that plastic piece there. And at this point, kind of hold the piece flat. And you can use either a small drill, a center punch, or this knife. Just kind of make 3 little indentations where you're gonna need the drill. So got this all set up, and now that you remove that, I can easily see those 3 spots that I need to drill. So now that you have the 3 holes you need to drill marked, I recommend having a step drill bit. This one goes up to 7/8 inch. Your goal is to drill the holes out to about 18 millimeters. Somewhere around 3/4 inch will do the trick. And make sure your drill doesn't walk when you're making these holes. And don't drill into your hand. And then don't worry about it being, a little bit off, because you're pretty much going to have spacers in the plate that's covering this up. It's just a trim piece. Technically, you can not even put it back in place. But. So with those 2 center punch holes there. Yeah, they don't need to spend too much time getting really accurate. And you can take a knife and deburr the holes if you want, kind of get the excess out of there. There's other types of hole drills that you could use. Just happen to be the step drill bit's like one of the easiest ones to use. So now that you have the holes drilled, you snap this all back into place, and you can see all those bosses all line up just fine. So now that you've separated out the hardware, you're going to have 2 different styles of screws. This flat-headed Allen screw, and then you got these button head style. You're going to have 2 different sizes of spacers. So the 2 identical spacers will go on these 2 positions. This slightly shorter unique spacer is going to go on this position right here. Next, you're going to have 3 washers that are identical, 3 nylock locking nuts, and then 2 slightly larger washers, and they're going to go onto the button head screws. So the pair of unique larger washers, just like that. So go ahead and drop the mounting plate in place, like such, and drop the screws into the locations right here. You may need to move your spacers around. And this last one just drops in just like that. So next, you want to take your washers and the locking nut. You're going to need to feel into these square wells right here and get the nut started. They're all identical. The smaller washers go in each position right here. So I recommend having a short 1/4 inch drive, 10 millimeter socket. Go ahead and drop the nylon locking nut with the nylon insert down into your socket, and kind of carefully rest the washer on top of it. And these ones are a little more difficult to line up because they're up in a well, and you kind of feel your way around. Have a 4 millimeter Allen wrench handy, and just go ahead and get them started. And once it grabs the nut, move on to the last position. Kind of rest that in place, put your it may take a couple tries to get this right first time around. And now the nuts have all been started on all 3 positions. Next, you want to put a ratchet onto the socket. Take your 4 millimeter wrench. I start with this rearmost one, the socket in place, and just go ahead and tighten this down. So start with this one. There's a little bit of wiggle room if you need to get this plate centered. You can see it works pretty nice with a T-handle. You don't need to over tighten it because it is going into sandwich between plastic here. And you may need to get a short extension to grab the edge of the nut, but yeah, looks like we're just fine. So go ahead. And they're all tight, now are placed in place. So once you have the top case of your choice picked out, typically they're going to include a mounting plate kit and a hardware kit as well. So we'll separate those two pieces. You got the mounting plate for your top case, and it's kind of got a universal looking honeycomb right there and a plate that covers up the fasteners. So we pretty much just drop this plate right on place, and you can look, since this was a shad engineered plate, works really well with the shad one. We'll work with a Givi top case as well. And I can see these two holes right here line up. So the pair of holes here line up and these pair of slots line up when the thing is centered. Of course, you could accidentally be shifted off to the side. Take a look at it, make sure you're centered. Go ahead and open your hardware pack. And now that we have some holes lined up, drop these little spacers into these wells that line up with the holes. Use the shorter screws. Don't think you need the longer ones. And it should come right out on the back side here. So start with a pair of them. And also in the kit is a set of washers and nylon locking nuts. So just like putting the plate on, you got a washer and a nut. Go ahead and get that started. And my suggestion is get everything started before you go to town tightening up these fasteners. So put the last pair of spacers lined up with the pair of slots. And again, washer and then the nylon locking nut. Next, we want to get a number 3 Phillips screwdriver, kind of a larger Phillips screwdriver, and a combination 10mm wrench. So go ahead and put the wrench onto the screw you're going to be tightening up. And go and do this on all 4 positions. Don't take care not to over tighten these screws because it will break through the plastic. Just enough to hold the plate in place. And now the last position right here. So the best part about the aftermarket top case solutions is they are removable. So go ahead and snap it into place. The instructions will cover the various ways that you could snap this into your base plate. Make sure it's nice and secure. You have a pair of keys, don't want to leave those in there. So the top case, when it's unlocked, you can open and close it. And once you lock it, it also secures the mechanism so it can no longer be removed from the scooter. Also, it's important to check, make sure your seat doesn't make contact to the frontmost section of your top case. A lot of these top cases also have an optional backrest pad that you can add to them. But that pretty much covers installing both the adapter plate that's specific for the Liberty scooter, the mounting plate that's included with your top case, and the top case itself. So thanks for watching. If you have a Liberty scooter, this might be a perfect solution for you to add a top case to your scooter that's nice and secure and a high quality product for less cost than the original Piaggio solution. And if you're new to my channel, consider subscribing. Also search the Vespa Motorsport YouTube channel. I have many videos on servicing the Piaggio Liberty, but many of the videos that are about servicing the Primavera and Sprint 150, they have the same platform and engine shared with this Liberty 150. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer and like to do your own service, you're gonna find all the videos from changing the drive belt, changing your oil, and many other service videos I've done over the years for the Primavera and the Sprint 150 scooters that would also help you out with the Liberty. And until next time, ride safe. Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com.